So you can specifically see when her legs are going out and as they're coming through and she's sweeping, like this for example. This animal flow, we're going to see some hand movements really coming through. Every movement he was doing there was completely necessary. Hello and welcome to Movement Review. This is where I'll be going on the hashtag movement culture on Instagram and basically reviewing it for you, giving my input, seeing what we've got and letting you guys see some amazing movers and explore some new profiles. So without further ado, let's get moving and I'll look at that on Instagram. Let's go. I believe I'm seeing Ben Reddington here, fellow from Leeds, I believe. Amazing at sense and distance with parkour, lovely. Oh geez, okay. Lovely flow up and down. This is nothing I've never been too good at this myself, going from, you know, back and forth across and down. So we got a Kong to speed fault to kind of like a reverse, coming through tic-tac onto the wall, like a splat back, coming up a tic-tac onto the wall, coming up through a side flip, very nice flow, consistent movement, looks beautiful. Someone once said to me, the key to good flow in parkour is to take as few unnecessary steps as possible. Alright, moving on to the capoeira looking thing here. Alright, some lovely windmill there. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. That was very nice and very clean there. Perfect. Who is this guy? Neil Teisner. Neil Teisner, okay. So have a look at this. Perfect. Do you know what? These windmills are something I've always wanted to get a bit better at, but I never really have taken the time to dedicate more time to. It's just my hip mobility there, but you can see specifically as he's going up with these windmills, more so on the first clip here, it is very much a case of finding that center of gravity there, and as you bring one leg down the hips twist, it's then driving that back leg around, and as the body moves, the head will move to there, the hips, you can see, forces the shoulders around with the back leg of the drive. Perfect, amazing, amazing. Right, who do we want to look at next? This looks kind of cool, I'm not going to lie. Are we going to see some cool special effects? A nice little macaque, into a bit of floor work, into a QDR, into a windmill. Nice, blending a bit of breakdancing in. Beautiful, that was so nice. Very fluid, and you can see the movement in his spine too. I like the POV, this is interesting. The same guy actually, Neil Teisner, amazing work. Oh, I love this effect. Makes it look like he's on fire. That is so cool. This guy is very flowy, and yeah, QDR into a windmill. It seems as if he's teaching in Germany, which is very interesting. I'm not interested about a virus protection. Why is that not going? There we go. Very interesting, they're very interesting. And I think from what we've seen with these, the rule applies to capoeira and to flow rail and just general movement practice there, that flow practice. The least kind of amount of unnecessary movements you can make, the more efficient you are with it, the more flowy it will look, the more elegant it will look, which is an interesting trend we're bound to see as we move forward. So let's go through who have we got here. We've got Dayalanaya. I still have 8 L's, N's and Y's. Some nice quadrupedal movement there. This is a great move to take on some railings outside. We used to do it a lot with parkour. If you take it on the railing, then you've got a lot of kind of wrist stability required there. You need to get nice and low with it too, but very interesting, very good. I do like these movements. They're very nice, simple movements, but it really requires you to keep a center of gravity, keep a nice balance the whole way through dynamic movements, either forward or laterally. Interesting. And then we've got through some lateral movement here too, amazing. And some yoga ball balancing. Now this is where we start getting to the Instagram hashtag I'm a cool guy. It's amazing for balance, no doubt there. But if she starts pistol squatting with the kettlebell, then I'm done. Impressive, pretty cool, pretty cool. Probably not the best way to develop balance, especially that high off the floor. Wobble board might be a bit better, but a very interesting application nonetheless. Let's move through. Everyone loves a bit of a capoeira kind of flow. Okay. So what have we got here? Is Ivan Capoeira, or Ivan Capoeira. And you can even see in this very fast, spontaneous movement, This is when you might see more peak movement. Every movement he was doing there was completely necessary. There's no unnecessary movement when it came to his flow and came to his interaction doing capoeira there. See this, it's all completely necessary. There's no stumble steps in the flow, and this is what you see when you get to a very high level. Constant movement, constant. Even if you are just driving with the legs, there's still upper body movement, the hands are gliding. That creates the illusion, the image of the whole body moving at once. And they're not necessarily fast movements. You have got some very fast movements in this. However, a lot of them are slow in the way that a kick would be. Like, that's a slow kick if you're talking about kicks in general in martial arts. And controlled is fast and slow is controlled. It's a great quote there. It's very interesting. I love that. Let's see a bit of calisthenics there. Right, so a very nice controlled muscle up. Top position, he goes into I thought it was going to be handstand press, front rolls, lovely. Surprisingly intense on the biceps if you've never tried these before. Lovely. Going into an elbow lever. I'm not going to call it, it's not a planche, it's an elbow lever, yeah, fair enough. If you've never obviously had, a go in the rings, I highly suggest buying them. A back lever there, very nice. You can buy them for around, £15-20 here in the UK anyway. Set them up on a tree branch, a basketball ring. Perfect. Amazing, love that. Paris. It's amazing to see all these different people, where they all come from and what they all do. I want to see some of this animal flow. We're going to see some hand movements really coming through. Let's see, I don't know. This guy moves well though. Some very nice peak there. Yes, we've got the hand movements, we've got it. I take the piss, but it's some impressive movement there. He's very fluid, getting some high motion there. You can see he's got some good control in the shoulders naturally as he does go high there. Lovely synchronized movements. And yeah, still some very nice hands, so it's all good. These things. It's become an art form in itself, really, hasn't it? Geez, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that name there, but you can go give him a follow if you fancy. Pretty cool. Some ripped guy there, fair enough. Let me see, is this a class? So we got a class going on here in Norway, so we got some heel touches. More of a fitness class than anything, but to be fair, when you start at the very base level, you only want to start with these proprioceptive movements, getting the feet moving, learning how to stretch, how to move on the floor, hands and feet, because if you're coming into this as an adult specifically, let me make myself a bit bigger there. So, if you're coming into movement practice as an adult with not a long, a history of practice, anything like that, or a past injury, you don't want to go straight into, loads of pressure on the wrists and doing monkey walks and lizard walks and really just bang loads more workload on the joints there. You don't want to do that. You want to start with very basic things. Can you even touch the floor? Can you touch the floor with two hands without putting your ass on the floor? How can you move? Can you crawl? Do an army crawl? These very basic things. Can you keep your hands and elbows in contact with the floor as well as the feet without the knees? Can you just keep the ass in contact with the floor without the hands and knees? And rotate. Interesting challenge, but these are basic movements that will teach people body awareness, and it's not just bang straight into heavy joint work and loads of work there. So let me minimize myself again and we'll move through with a few more. I am liking what I'm seeing. Okay, usually a bit of an open space here. We see some very nice flow. Awesome. A bit of a more fast-paced one, actually, to be fair. Compared to the others, very good hip mobility. A nice bit on the penny board there. So you can specifically see when her legs are going out and as they're coming through and she's sweeping, like this, for example, very open hips. Something I've neglected personally myself, but very nice flow, good spinal movement. Just very good body awareness, which is great, and it's on concrete too, so it's not always the easiest thing to move on. Obviously, I think a wooden floor with socks are easy, an easy kind of thing to move on, but this is fairly decent there. So who's this? Ronnie Gozali. Okay, Ronnie Gozali. Very interesting. Cool. Give her a follow if you fancy. A bit of rope work is this. All right, there has been Okay, this is actual skipping and stuff. Fair enough. There's a movement with the what are they called? The WEC methods, where you have the rope and you don't even skip, and it's just these movements around here, moving the rope around the body. Let me find it actually. WEC, Uncle WEC, his name is Uncle WEC. I believe that's how you spell it. Is that how you spell it? Uncle WEC. I'll tell you who did it. It was Tim Shieff. Tim Shieff. He was doing it for a long time. Let's go on Timothy Moves. It might be on this one. So Tim, is that? Ah, that's the gym I used to work in. Crazy. Wow, I never knew he visited there. I would have loved to have met him. Oh, fair enough. I used to work there, which is what shocked me there. Pretty cool. Yeah, not bad, not bad. Third spot against Ali Hayen and Dean. They're both very impressive when it comes to their parkour and ninja warrior ability. I would have loved to have met him though. Would have loved to have met him. But he was doing it a fair bit away. Yeah, that surprised me there. But here we go, the rope work. So you can see the whole idea around this movement here is a lot of these movement patterns and kind of angles of movement and the joints, the angle you put your joints in, are transferable skills to many other sports and movements there. And it's definitely an interesting way of moving, and it's a great warm-up. How practical it is to what they market, I'm not so sure. I've tried it a fair bit, but it is very interesting for, obviously, a fair bit of biomechanical work. And stuff like that. But this guy has a great, perspective on movement too. He's, breakdancing background to parkour, and climbing, went into running. Now he just generally moves, which is great. But yeah, pretty cool there, pretty cool. So there we go, that is the end of the video. I do realise that the quality was not the best when I was screen recording. I'll get that fixed for the next video. But as you can tell, I have a new setup. Me and my partner bought ourselves a house, our first house, and I've just been working on my personal training business and my online training business. So I do apologise for the lack of videos, but there you go. I hope you enjoyed that one. If you've got any requests, do leave them down below, or you can contact me on Instagram, and I'll try to get through to those there, and I'll try to get around as many videos as I can. But yeah, that should be that. And with that being said, with my new smart home setup, Alexa, turn all of the lights off, please.
Okay.
Goodbye.